Morning, internet world. I'm new to using microphones, and I can't get this thing to not be like insanely loud and the sound coming through horrible. Probably because it's a cheap mic. We're on a special mission today. We are loading a load of hay. Yes, same thing I always do, or I do a lot. Where it is going down my childhood memory lane. So, let's get this loaded and follow along. I'm going to show you the school I grew up in and the road I traveled on for 8 years straight going to school. Do you normally load right here on the road? I can't see. Is there a ditch right next to me there?
There's a ditch there too, but it's not too bad.
Do you load across that ditch, or is
I have before, yeah.
Okay? If that works easier for you, I'll just pull right up against that ditch and.
You didn't bring anything to load them with?
I forgot.
Damn it.
All right, let me get situated. Somehow I'm gonna have to pull up where he's pulling up, and then back into right there. See how we can get loaded on this hay and see how I can not get stuck. Ground's pretty solid, but it's also a pretty tight corner, but we're gonna give it a shot. If I get stuck, it's not the first time. If I can't make a turnaround, it's not the first time either. That'll work. Good enough for an Amishman. We got us a load on this one, old son. This Amish place on the right here would be a guy that I used to go to school with. Actually, him and his wife both. I went to school with both of them. Way back in the hats and beards day, before I was even old enough to have a beard. All right, I have never driven a semi down this road, so let's check out my semi driving skills without taking out corner signs. It's amazing how much smaller these roads are in a semi from what they were in the buggy. When you're a kid, you're like, yeah, this road is big, it's plenty wide, like we can easily pass cars back here. And then you grow all up and you get in a semi and you're like, this is one tiny freaking road, man. That barn roof you can see off in the distance there. Old man's dead and gone now. When I was a kid, he had donkeys. That's probably across the way the crow flies, probably two miles from where I grew up. And I remember as a kid hearing his donkeys braying in the morning if the weather was just right. All right, this hill looks nice and slippery. That's great with this tiny little bridge at the bottom. Let's hope we don't die on this place. I'm sure the weight limit on this bridge is a semi-weight limit also. Used to come down this hill, let the horses walk halfway down, and they would break into a trot. We'd go boogie across here. All right, this turn's going to be a little bit tight, but I think it can be done. I did replace this bridge since the last time I was through here and since the last time I was a kid. This used to be a tiny, narrow little bridge that had like just little metal bar railings. I think it even had a wooden floor on it still. But that place on the left right there is a modern Amish place now. Used to be old school Amish from back when I was a kid. And y'all wonder why I'm retarded? Look way up there, them little white buildings up there. That is the schoolhouse I went to for 8 freaking years. Look at that little place. I don't know if I can zoom in far enough to get a better shot or not. Look at that. White building is a schoolhouse. The little red building behind it is a new addition. And then the red building over here on this end on the far right of the screen is the barn. Entryway is right there. See them little tracks going in? Yeah, birds. For 8 years, we clop up through there in the buggy. Park the buggy, tie the horse back up in the barn, give him a little bit of hay to eat. There was a water trough right outside the barn, further to the right. Used to be, I don't know if it's still there or not. But his boys' responsibility was the older kids to carry firewood in the schoolhouse. The house heated with wood. Just a little one-room schoolhouse held between 21 and 25 students during the time I was there. I probably took up 30% of the teacher's attention because I was a robust kid, to put it mildly. I'm going to stop at this place on the way back through. He's got some lumber to put lath on that chicken coop. He's had it ready for a couple weeks, and I just haven't had a chance to come get it. So I am going to not record it because he's Amish, but what a beautiful little stroll down the valley, man. All right, so this bridge coming up right here in front of us, it's hard to see on the camera, but there's a bridge right there. When I was young, we used to come down to my sister's place, and we would follow. There's a creek that runs down the left-hand side, crosses underneath the road right here. We used to follow that creek down, just playing in the water and stuff. We come down here and walk across the railings, and my brother-in-law put all this fence down through here on the left, all by hand. Those freaking, every single one of those posts were hand dug and hand planted. Still the same barn. The original structure of the barn there you can see was what was the original structure, and then my brother-in-law added that shed on that tan barn. That red barn you're seeing there in the camera is something that new Amish have added. And then the original log house that's there has also been torn down. Let me shut this thing off for a minute. Got it empty now. Question is, can I get turned around down on this dinky little road without getting stuck? Probably the answer to that is no. But the answer to me trying, Geo, yeah, man. Maybe it'll work. I'll get all the way back up in here, swing really, really wide. There's a slight possibility that I will make that turn back out of here. Missing that telephone box and the sign across the street. This homemade sign right there, and some metal stake on the opposite side. All right, never underestimate the driving skills of an ex-Amish on an ex-Amish farm. It ain't. If an ex-Amish can't do it, it can't be done, man. That's alright. Hold the applause. I know I'm the hero here. Got a little bit of lumber loaded on and heading back toward the hillbilly country. Wait, I'm already in hillbilly country. Heading back toward other hillbilly country. Couple of funny stories. If you look way down there in the corner of that field, there's a little creek that runs down through there. When I was a kid, the school is right across the street from there that I showed you on the way in. We would get to go down there during this kind of weather. If we got all our schoolwork done for today and the next day, got it all caught up, the teacher would let us go down there and go ice skating. So I went down there to go ice skating with a couple of my friends in either first or second grade, which now looking back, that's nuts that the teacher would let us do that. But when you're private school and you're Amish school, they will let 6, 7-year-olds walk, what is that, a quarter mile down through the woods behind someone else's house to go ice skating. I freaking froze my bare, red-headed little ginger toes. By the time I got out of my ice skates with already cold feet and got myself into my rubber gum boots, I could not feel my feet. And I went up to that schoolhouse up there that I've just now passed, and I could not feel my feet walking up there. I could feel like my legs where I was stepping, but my feet were completely numb. I went up there, took my boots off, took my feet started warming up in the classroom, and my feet hurt like my feet have never hurt in my whole life. Long story short, I froze my feet as a kid. And to this day, I struggle with my feet getting cold. Anyway, it was good. It's good to come down this road and see the old farm where my sister used to live. I haven't seen that in years. Tricking a bunch of childhood memories. See if I can make it up this hill without getting spun out here. Giddy up, Ginger and Bonnie and Clyde. I remember Ginger was the name of an old mare that we had that we drove forever. She was kind of lazy, and she would like come across the bridge, and she would just come to a stop because she knew if she stopped, we would get off the buggy, and then she'd have to just pull the empty buggy up the hill. Real quick before it gets too dark to record, I should clarify that there's two different Amish down there in that community. When I was there before I left, my family left, there was like 20-ish families in the community that were the old school traditional ones. There's only 8 or so families left, and over the past few years, a lot more modern Amish have moved in. There's 8 or 10 of those down there now that are like super modern. They won't, I consider them super modern. They say they're not, but they don't shun me. They'll do business with me and stuff. The modern ones is the ones I just stopped to pick the lumber off of, and the ones that'll do business with us, and like they don't mind. They mostly don't mind our background. These are very nice, very cool people. The old school ones, they were cool and they're nice guys also. They are just, because of their beliefs, they will not have anything to do with me or with my family because they think we are from Satan with horns growing out of our head. Anyway, appreciate you coming along on my short video of a stroll down through Amish country back to my growing up days. Yeah, appreciate you watching. See me on the next one. Merry Christmas. Peace out, as Rooster would say.